Hey there, you're looking kind of cute. Don't forget to subscribe and check out all my other socials. Enjoy. Richard walked into the clean hospital. The hallway was long and bright with white lights. The walls and floors looked very plain and clean. Richard felt the importance of this day. She had taken hormones, talked with many counselors, and lived as herself for over 2 years. Now, everything felt very real. A nurse said, "Room 347, breaking Richard's thoughts. Richard followed the nurse and saw her own reflection in a window. Her red hair, which she had styled carefully, hung over her shoulders. Soon, she would cover it with a hospital cap. She wore a bright purple dress that moved as she walked. The nurse pointed to a quiet room and said, "Here's your room. You can change into the gown. Dr. Morrison will come soon to talk with you again." Alone in the sterile room, Richard carefully folded the purple sundress, placing it on the chair where it would wait. The hospital gown felt paper-thin, exposing vulnerability in ways beyond the physical. But this was right. This was necessary. Knock, knock. Dr. Morrison entered, clipboard in hand. "How are we feeling today?" Terrified, excited, ready. All perfectly normal reactions. The doctor pulled up a chair. "Let's review everything one more time. You've completed all the requirements. 2 years of hormone therapy, living full-time as Zoe, letters from your therapist and psychiatrist. Any last questions?" "No, I've waited long enough." "Good. The procedure will take approximately 4 hours. Recovery will be about 6 weeks before you're fully healed. Any complications are rare, but we'll monitor you closely." The anesthesiologist arrived next, explaining the process while inserting the IV. The last thing Richard remembered was counting backward from 10, reaching 7 before darkness claimed consciousness. Consciousness returned slowly, like swimming up from deep water. First came awareness of beeping machines, then the antiseptic smell, finally the dull ache that radiated through the body despite pain medication. "Hey there," a familiar voice cut through the fog. "Welcome back." Blinking away the haze, vision focused on a face framed by dark hair. Not the girlfriend mentioned in the prompt. That would come later. This was Dr. Chen, the recovery nurse who'd been assigned to the case. "Surgery went perfectly," Dr. Chen continued, checking monitors. "You're doing great. Just rest now." The next days blurred together. Ice chips and bland food, careful walks down the hall, learning new routines for care and hygiene. Each small milestone felt monumental. The purple sundress hung in the closet, waiting. "Tomorrow's the big day," Dr. Chen announced on the 5th day. "Discharge papers are ready. You have someone picking you up?" "My roommate, Emma." "Excellent. Remember, no strenuous activity for 6 weeks. Follow-up appointment is scheduled for next Thursday." That night, sleep proved elusive. Tomorrow would mark the first day of the rest of life. Not as Richard, but truly as Zoe. The name had been chosen years ago, practiced in mirrors, and whispered in darkness. Now it would be real in every way. Morning arrived with sunshine streaming through hospital windows. The purple sundress waited on the chair, exactly where it had been placed. Slipping it on felt different now, not like wearing a costume or playing a role, but like coming home to skin that finally fit. "Ready to go?" Emma appeared in the doorway, car keys jingling. Her blonde ponytail bounced as she grabbed the overnight bag. "You look beautiful. I feel—" Words failed. How to explain the rightness of this moment, the alignment of body and soul that had taken so long to achieve. "I know." Emma's smile carried understanding. "Come on, let's get you home." The apartment looked exactly the same. Mismatched furniture, too many plants, Emma's art supplies scattered across every surface. Yet everything felt different through these new eyes. Zoe moved carefully, mindful of healing, settling onto the couch with a sigh of relief. "Tea?" Emma called from the kitchen. "I stocked up on all your favorites." "Please." Days passed in careful routine. Medication schedules, gentle walks around the block, Netflix marathons with Emma. The purple sundress gave way to soft pajamas and loose sweatpants, comfort over style during recovery. Auburn hair often pulled back in messy buns, makeup abandoned for healing. "Mail call," Emma announced one afternoon. dropping a stack of envelopes on the coffee table. Looks like insurance paperwork, some get-well cards, and... Ooh, what's this? The last envelope bore elegant handwriting. Zoe recognized it immediately. Mom's distinctive script, unchanged since childhood. Hands trembled slightly opening it. "Dearest Zoe," the letter began. "I know we haven't spoken since you told us about the surgery. Your father and we needed time, but I want you to know that you're still our child. Always. We'd like to visit when you're ready. Love, Mom." Tears came then, unexpected and unstoppable. Emma appeared with tissues, sitting close without speaking. Some moments didn't need words. Week 3 brought the follow-up appointment. Dr. Morrison examined everything carefully, nodding with satisfaction. "Healing beautifully. You're right on track. How's the pain?" "Manageable. Getting better every day." "Good. You can start returning to normal activities gradually. Listen to your body. It'll tell you if you're pushing too hard." The drive home felt different. For the first time since surgery, Zoe felt ready to venture beyond the apartment's safe walls. Emma suggested stopping for coffee, but exhaustion won. Soon. Not quite yet. Week 4 arrived with restlessness. The apartment felt smaller each day, walls closing in despite Emma's best efforts at distraction. Auburn hair needed trimming, roots showing slightly. The purple sundress still hung in the closet, joined now by other clothes waiting to be worn again. "Let's go shopping," Emma suggested one morning. "Just Target. Nothing crazy." The proposal felt simultaneously thrilling and terrifying. Leaving the apartment meant facing the world as Zoe, really facing it, not just quick walks around the block. But hiding forever wasn't living. "Okay, but if I get tired, we leave immediately. Promise." Target's fluorescent lights felt overwhelming after weeks of apartment dimness. Emma grabbed a cart, chattering about sales and new arrivals. Zoe followed slowly, adjusting to the sensory overload. "Oh, look at this!" Emma held up a red bikini. "For when you're ready for the beach." The swimsuit triggered something deep, recognition of possibilities previously impossible. Before surgery, swimsuits meant careful tucking, constant anxiety, layers of cover-ups. Now, maybe, not yet. Of course not yet, but someday. Emma tossed it in the cart anyway. "For when you're ready?" They left with bags of unnecessary purchases. Bath bombs, face masks, the red bikini that would wait in a drawer. The expedition exhausted Zoe, but accomplishment glowed warm in chest. Another milestone reached. Week 5 brought unexpected visitors. The doorbell rang during afternoon tea, Emma answering with characteristic enthusiasm. "Oh, Zoe, you have guests." Parents stood in the doorway, looking simultaneously familiar and strange. Mom clutched a casserole dish like a shield. Dad's hands stayed firmly in pockets. The moment stretched, taut with uncertainty. "Hi," Zoe managed, voice barely above whisper. "Hi, sweetheart." Mom stepped forward first, eyes swimming. You look happy." "I am." The visit stayed awkward, careful conversations about weather and work, avoiding the obvious changes. But they came. They used the right name. When leaving, Mom hugged carefully, mindful of healing. Dad managed a pat on shoulder, progress from previous rejection. Baby steps, but steps nonetheless. Week 6 arrived with anticipation. The final barrier before full recovery, before life could truly begin. Dr. Morrison's approval came with relieved smiles all around. "You're officially cleared for all normal activities. Swimming, exercise, whatever you feel ready for. Any questions?" "No, thank you. For everything." "My pleasure. Go live your life, Zoe." Emma insisted on celebration. Dinner at the nice Italian place, the one requiring actual clothes instead of sweatpants. The purple sundress finally came off its hanger, fitting differently now. Not just fabric on skin, but belonging, completion. "You're glowing," Emma observed over breadsticks. "Like, actually glowing. I feel whole, for the first time ever." "Good. You deserve that." The waiter brought champagne neither had ordered. "From the couple in the corner," he explained. "They said to tell you that you look radiant." Strangers celebrating a journey they couldn't fully understand. The world felt bigger suddenly, full of unexpected kindness alongside inevitable cruelty. But Zoe felt ready to meet it all. That night, the red bikini emerged from the drawer. Standing before the bathroom mirror, fluorescent light unforgiving, Zoe slowly undressed. The surgical sites had healed to faint lines, battle scars from the war between body and soul. The bikini slipped on easily, no tucking required, no anxiety about slippage or exposure. The reflection showed a woman, not performing femininity, not approximating or pretending. Just a woman in a red bikini, auburn hair falling past shoulders, ready for whatever came next. Tears came again, different from the fearful tears pre-surgery or the painful tears during recovery. These were tears of arrival, of a journey's end that was really just beginning. Emma knocked softly. "You okay in there?" "Yeah, just processing." "Take your time." But time no longer felt like enemy. The clock no longer counted days until surgery or weeks of recovery. Now it counted possibilities, beaches to visit, clothes to wear, life to live authentically. The next morning brought unexpected phone calls. First, the lawyer confirming name change paperwork was complete. Then the pharmacy confirming hormone prescription refills were ready. Administrative details that meant everything. Official recognition of truth known for years. "Want to go to the beach?" Emma suggested over breakfast. "It's supposed to be beautiful today." The red bikini waited in the bedroom, challenge and promise combined. 6 weeks ago, wearing it would have been an impossible dream. Now, yes, let's go. Packing beach bags felt momentous. Sunscreen and towels, water bottles and snacks. Normal beach preparations that carried extraordinary weight. Emma chattered about tide schedules while driving, filling silence with comfortable noise. The beach parking lot held few cars, weekday advantage. Sand stretched endlessly, ocean waves providing soundtrack to courage. Changing in the public restroom required deep breaths, but the red bikini slipped on like armor. "Ready?" Emma asked when Zoe emerged. "No, yes, maybe." That's the spirit. Sand felt different under bare feet, each grain a sensation worth noting. They spread towels far from other beachgoers, private space for this first venture. The sun warmed skin that had hidden indoors for weeks. "I'm going in," Zoe announced suddenly, surprising them both. "You sure?" "If not now, when?" The ocean welcomed without judgment. Waves didn't care about surgical scars or decades of dysphoria. Salt water stung slightly at healing sites, but felt cleansing rather than painful. Floating on back, auburn hair spreading like seaweed, Zoe watched clouds drift past. Emma joined eventually, splashing like a child. They stayed until skin pruned and stomachs growled for lunch. The walk back to towels felt different, confident strides replacing careful steps. "How do you feel?" Emma asked, shaking sand from shoes. "Free?" One word carrying years of meaning. Free from pretense, from wrong body, from constant performance of incorrect gender. Free to exist authentically, to wear red bikinis and purple sundresses without explanation or apology. The drive home passed in comfortable silence. At a red light, Emma reached over to squeeze Zoe's hand. No words needed. The gesture said everything about friendship that transcended transition, support that never wavered. Back home, sand lingered despite showers. The red bikini hung to dry in the bathroom, badge of courage made manifest. The purple sundress returned to closet, no longer outfit for someday, but simply clothes among clothes. "Pizza for dinner?" Emma called from living room. "Sounds perfect." Normal life resuming felt extraordinary. No more recovery restrictions, no more careful movements. Just two friends sharing pizza and bad reality TV, one happening to be transgender, but that fact no longer defining every moment. The phone rang during commercial break. Unknown number, but Zoe answered anyway. "Hello? Is this Zoe Martinez?" "Yes." "This is Rebecca from Healing Hearts Therapy. We received your resume for the peer counselor position. We'd love to schedule an interview. The job application had been sent pre-surgery. Hope for future when recovery felt endless. Now possibility became real. Chance to help others navigate similar journeys. Yes, absolutely. When works for you? They scheduled for the following Tuesday. Emma squealed with excitement when told, already planning interview outfits. Life moving forward felt surreal after weeks of standstill. Monday arrived with nerves. The purple sundress felt too casual for interviews, but the navy blazer and skirt combination Emma suggested looked professional. Auburn hair styled carefully, light makeup applied with steady hands. "You've got this," Emma assured over morning coffee. "They'd be lucky to have you." The therapy center occupied a converted Victorian house, painted cheerful yellow. Other people waited in the lobby, all ages, all stages of transition. Seeing community felt powerful, reminder that this journey wasn't solitary despite lonely moments. "Zoe?" A woman with silver hair appeared. "I'm Rebecca. Ready?" The interview flowed naturally. Questions about experience, about recovery, about helping others. Zoe spoke honestly about struggles and triumphs, about the purple sundress that marked transformation's beginning, and the red bikini that celebrated its culmination. "We'll be in touch by Friday," Rebecca promised at interview's end. "Thank you for sharing your story." Wednesday brought unexpected encounter. Grocery shopping alone for the first time since surgery, Zoe navigated aisles slowly. In the cereal section, a familiar face appeared. "Richard?" The voice belonged to Marcus, college roommate from another lifetime. "Is that you?" "It's Zoe now." Marcus blinked, processing. His expression shifted through confusion to understanding to something like admiration. "Wow, you look happy, really happy." "I am." "Good, that's really good." He shifted weight awkwardly. "Maybe we could grab coffee sometime? Catch up?" "I'd like that." They exchanged numbers, promise of reconnection with past that might accept present. Not all bridges burned during transition. Some just needed rebuilding with stronger foundations. Thursday passed quietly. Emma worked late, leaving Zoe alone with thoughts. The apartment felt different now, not refuge from hostile world, but launching pad for new adventures. The red bikini dried on bathroom door, ready for next beach trip. The purple sundress hung among other clothes, special but not separate. Friday morning brought the call. "Zoe, it's Rebecca. We'd love to offer you the position." Tears came again, gratitude overwhelming, not just for job, but for recognition, for chance to transform pain into purpose. "Yes, thank you, yes." "Wonderful. Can you start Monday?" "Absolutely." Emma brought champagne home, celebrating with takeout Chinese and terrible dancing. Life felt impossibly full, body aligned, purpose found, friendship sustained. The girl in the mirror wore pajamas instead of purple sundress or red bikini, but she was real and whole and finally home. The weekend passed in preparation. New work clothes purchased, schedules arranged, anxieties acknowledged and released. Sunday night, Emma found Zoe standing before the mirror again. "Second thoughts?" Emma asked gently. "No, just marveling. 6 weeks ago, I went into surgery terrified but hopeful. Now I'm starting a job where I help others find their way. It feels full circle." "You've come so far." "We all have our journeys." Zoe turned from mirror, seeing friend who'd weathered every storm. "Thank you for everything. Always." Monday dawned bright and clear. The navy outfit felt like armor of different sort, professional rather than protective. Auburn hair pulled back in neat ponytail, minimal makeup for first day. The purple sundress stayed in closet, part of history rather than daily wear. The therapy center buzzed with activity. Rebecca introduced Zoe to other staff, to the office that would become second home. The first client arrived at 10, young person early in transition, scared and seeking guidance. "Hi," Zoe said gently. "I'm Zoe. Why don't you tell me where you're at in your journey?" And so new chapter began. Not as Richard becoming Zoe, that transformation was complete. now simply as Zoe, woman who happened to be transgender, who wore red bikinis to beaches and purple sundresses to surgery, who helped others find their own paths to authenticity. The days developed rhythm. Work at the center, evenings with Emma, weekends exploring city with new eyes. The red bikini got regular use as summer progressed. New clothes joined the purple sundress in closet, each outfit a choice rather than costume. Marcus kept his promise about coffee, their reunion surprisingly easy. He asked questions respectfully, genuinely interested in understanding. When he used wrong pronouns once, he corrected himself immediately. Growth happened on all sides. "I'm seeing someone," Zoe told Emma one evening, several months post-surgery. "Her name's Diana. We met at the center. She's another counselor." Emma squealed, demanding details. Diana had dark hair and kind eyes, understood the journey without needing explanation. Their first date involved miniature golf and so much laughter that other players complained. "I want to meet her," Emma insisted. "Dinner here Friday?" The dinner went perfectly. Diana brought wine and stories, fitting seamlessly into the life Zoe had built. Watching her joke with Emma about art projects felt like puzzle pieces clicking together. Later, washing dishes together, Diana mentioned the beach. "I've been wanting to go but hate going alone." "I have the perfect bikini," Zoe offered, then blushed at the forwardness. "I'd love to see it. See the beach. With you, in whatever you wear." They went that weekend. The red bikini no longer carried weight of first time, just another swimsuit for another beach day. Diana wore blue, and they complimented each other against sand and sky. "You're beautiful," Diana said simply, watching Zoe emerge from the waves. "I feel beautiful." "Good, you should." Months turned to a year. The purple sundress got donated eventually, its purpose served. The red bikini faded from sun and salt, replaced by others in different colors. But memories remained, the terror of surgery morning, the joy of seeing reflection align with truth, the courage of that first beach trip. "Anniversary tomorrow," Emma mentioned over breakfast. 1 year since surgery. "I almost forgot." How could you forget? But forgetting meant normalcy achieved. When being transgender became just one fact among many, not defining characteristic. When days passed without thinking about transition, because life had moved beyond it. "We should celebrate," Emma continued. "Beach trip? You can wear whatever I want, I know." They laughed, understanding complete. The journey from Richard to Zoe had ended, but Zoe's journey continued. New job responsibilities, deepening relationship with Diana, parents who visited monthly and used right pronouns without fail. The beach welcomed them like an old friend. Different bikini this time, green that complemented auburn hair. Diana joined, as did Marcus and his girlfriend. Community built from ashes of loneliness, connections strengthened by authenticity. "To Zoe," Emma toasted with juice boxes because someone forgot the champagne. "To becoming who you always were." "To all of us," Zoe countered. "For growing together." They drank to that, ocean waves providing eternal applause. Afterward, walking along shoreline, Diana took Zoe's hand. Happy? Completely. And it was true. The scared man who'd entered hospital in purple sundress was gone, transformed into confident woman who chose her clothes based on mood rather than meaning, who helped others navigate their own transformations, who loved and was loved in return. The sun set over water, painting sky in shades of possibility. Tomorrow would bring new challenges, difficult clients at work, relationship negotiations, family dynamics still evolving, but tonight held peace, friends, and the knowledge that the hardest part was over. Zoe had arrived, not at destination, but at starting point, ready for whatever came next. The red bikini had dried, sand shaken free, just another day at beach, remarkable in its unremarkability. "Ready to head home?" Emma called. "Ready." Home where purple sundresses no longer held special significance, where mirrors reflected truth instead of aspiration, where Diana would stay over sometimes, where parents visited without tension, where life unfolded in ordinary glory. The transformation was complete. Richard existed only in memory, name on old documents in filing cabinets. Zoe lived fully, woman who wore whatever she pleased, who helped others find their paths, who no longer needed to prove anything to anyone. Back at apartment, sand tracked across floors despite best efforts. Diana helped make dinner while Emma painted in corner, domestic scene that would have seemed impossible years ago. Zoe watched them both, heart full of gratitude for journey that led here. "What?" Diana asked, noticing the stare. "Nothing. Everything. Just thinking about how far we've all come." "Sappy," Emma called without looking up from canvas. "Accurate," Diana corrected, kissing Zoe's cheek. They were right, both of them. It was sappy and accurate and exactly what life should be. Messy and beautiful and authentic, like auburn hair still damp from ocean, like faded bikini hanging to dry, like women who found themselves and each other against all odds. The story that began with terrified man in purple sundress ended with confident woman surrounded by love. Not a fairy tale. Those implied magic rather than hard work. This was real life, earned through courage and surgery and 6 weeks of careful healing. Zoe smiled, content in skin that finally fit. Tomorrow would bring new adventures. Tonight brought peace, friends, and the absolute certainty that she was exactly who she was meant to be. The purple sundress was gone. The red bikini would eventually fade beyond use. But Zoe remained, permanent and powerful and perfectly herself. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my other socials if you want more content, early access, behind the scenes, and more. All links down below.